second session, and the session is on psychological safety. And we have with us as chairperson Dr. Deepak Kumar, HOD Department of Psychiatry, IBHAS, co-chairperson Shri Ramesh Pandey, Director, CRC, Lucknow. I hope Ramesh ji has joined.
No, he is not well, so
Okay.
he has not yet joined. And Mary ma'am, she about to join maybe later.
Mary Barua ji hai from Action for Autism, and Dr. Praveen B. Yanwar, Secretary, Social Worker, Consultant, Department of Psychiatry, Social Work, IBHAS. And we have got presenters, Miss Mannat Lamba and Juhi Kishore.
Yeah.
सर, ये जो है ना, हम साइकोलॉजिकल सेफ्टी की बात करते हैं कि मनोवैज्ञानिक रूप से हम अपने आप को कितना सुरक्षित महसूस करते हैं। तो ये एक बिलीफ है, एक सोच है, और उस सोच के अंदर ये क्या होता है कि मैं ऐसा करूंगा तो क्या होगा, क्या लोग बाग इसको अच्छा कहेंगे या इसको खराब कहेंगे, वेदर आई विल बी पनिश्ड और नॉट पनिश्ड। तो ये चीजें हो जाती हैं। देन एक सभा में बैठे हुए हैं और वहां पर सवाल आता है क्वेश्चंस का। मेरे को कोई चीज पूछनी है मगर मैं पूछता नहीं हूं। क्यों नहीं पूछता हूं? मैं ये सोचता हूं, आई फील ह्यूमिलेटेड कि मेरे को सोचेंगे देखो इसको इतनी छोटी सी बात नहीं पता है। तो ये सब चीजें जो है ना, ये हमारे को साइकोलॉजिकल सेफ्टी के बारे में हम जब बात करते हैं, मनोवैज्ञानिक सुरक्षा के बारे में हम जब बात करते हैं, ये सारी चीजें वहां पर आती हैं। क्या मेरे जो आइडियाज हैं वो कैसे एक्सेप्ट होंगे, मेरे जो कंसर्न है उनको देखा जाएगा नहीं, मेरी गलतियों पर कैसे लोगों का रिएक्शन होगा। तो ये सब साइकोलॉजिकल सेफ्टी के अंतर्गत आते हैं। एंड आई हैंड ओवर टू डॉक्टर दीपक।
Yeah, good morning everyone.
Thank you.
And I welcome all of you in this technical session 6 on the virtual platform on the National Seminar on Mental Health. जो एक्रोनिम इन्होंने दिया है NSMH, इसको अगर हम थोड़ा रीअरेंज करते हैं तो ये बन जाता है NMHS, जो है NSHM का जो नेशनल मेंटल हेल्थ सर्वे हुआ था वो कुछ समय पहले हुआ था हमारे देश में। और बेसिकली देखा गया था कि मेंटल हेल्थ हमारी जो देश की मॉर्बिडिटी है उसमें क्या आंकड़े हैं। उसमें देखा गया था कि कुछ इस तरह से आंकड़े आए थे कि जैसे हर 20 भारतीय में एक जो है उसमें डिप्रेशन के लक्षण या तो उसने सफर किया होगा या फिर कर रहा होगा किसी अपने लाइफ टाइम में, या 15% लोगों में मेंटल हेल्थ इश्यूज होते हैं। और फिर तीसरा जो था कि ट्रीटमेंट गैप जो हमारे देश में है वो काफी बड़ा है। मान के चलिए जैसे अगर 150 मिलियन हमारे पॉपुलेशन है तो उसमें से 30 मिलियन ही हेल्प सीकिंग है। तो इसका मतलब हमारा गैप जो है 80% एंड अबव है जो नहीं पहुंच पा रहे हैं। ठीक है। और दूसरी बात, हमारे जो ह्यूमन रिसोर्स क्रंच हमेशा ये एक मेजर मुद्दा हमारे कॉन्टेक्स्ट में रहता है। और खासकर मेंटल हेल्थ प्रोफेशनल्स, साइकियाट्रिस्ट फिर भी कुछ तादाद बढ़ रही है, लेकिन क्लिनिकल साइकोलॉजिस्ट और साइकियाट्रिक सोशल वर्क और ऑक्यूपेशनल थेरेपिस्ट और स्पीच थेरेपिस्ट और जितने हमारे तमाम डिसेबिलिटी सेक्टर के प्रोफेशनल्स की नीड और एक्चुअल ग्राउंड लेवल पे जो अवेलेबिलिटी है काफी उसमें गैप है। ठीक है। और दूसरी बात है कि हमारी जो मेंटल हेल्थ सर्विसेज है वो भी बड़े शहरों तक ही सीमित रही हैं। तो एक्सेसिबिलिटी, अफोर्डेबिलिटी एक मेजर ये भी कंसर्न रहा है। अवेयरनेस की भी एक इशू रही है। मेंटल हेल्थ प्रॉब्लम्स को समहाउ कोशिश की जा रही है मीडिया के थ्रू। मेंटल हेल्थ प्रोग्राम जो होता है एनुअली अक्टूबर के महीने में, उसके तहत, लेकिन अभी भी काफी गुंजाइश है इसमें। और जो हेल्प लेने पहुंचते भी हैं उनमें जो स्टिग्मेटाइजेशन होता है वो भी एक मेजर कंसर्न है हमारा। ठीक है। और इस समय जो कोविड का पेंडेमिक चला हुआ है ये एक्चुअली हमारे मरीजों को और हमारे जो साइकोसोशल डिसेबिलिटी से ग्रसित हैं उनके लिए एक्चुअली एक दोहरा झटका है। जिसको डबल वैमी कहते हैं हमारे क्लाइंट्स के लिए, क्योंकि जो इंटेंट कर रहे थे रीच आउट करने के लिए मेंटल हेल्थ सर्विसेज हो या रिहैब सर्विसेज, वो नहीं पहुंच पा रहे हैं और वो इंडोर्स रहने के लिए बाध्य हो गए हैं। तो इस पीरियड में और भी दिक्कतें हुई हैं, जैसे डोमेस्टिक वायलेंस और के तादाद बढ़े, इकोनॉमिक फॉलआउट भी हुआ है, और जो ग्रीफ और ट्रॉमा जो लॉस इवेंट के बाद हुआ है लोगों को, कईयों ने अपना फ्यूनरल भी अपने नजदीकी रिश्तेदारों का वर्चुअल प्लेटफॉर्म पे ही अटेंड किया है इस दौरान। तो लेकिन इन सब डार्क सिनेरियो के बावजूद भी मुझे लगता है कि एक चीज बड़ी रे ऑफ होप की तरह आई है, और वो है टेली मेडिसिन या टेली काउंसलिंग वाली जो डिजिटल प्लेटफॉर्म को यूज किया गया है, ताकि मेंटल हेल्थ प्रोफेशनल्स अपनी सर्विसेज जो नीडी हैं वहां तक पहुंचा सकें। ठीक है, लेकिन ये भी हमें देखना पड़ेगा कि इतनी मशरूमिंग हुई है सर्विसेज की, तो उसकी क्वालिटी चेक पे भी हमें कहीं ना कहीं जो जैसे RCI हो गया और तमाम जो हमारे रेगुलेटरी अथॉरिटीज है,
आप टोकन जब 27 नंबर चल रहा था, जब लगाया टोकन लिया 40 नंबर में।
Dr. Deepak sir, can you unmute yourself, please? Yeah.
तो हेल्पलाइन में खासकर आपने देखा होगा कि मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ सोशल जस्टिस एंड एम्पावरमेंट की किरण जो आई है, मेंटल हेल्थ रिहेबिलिटेशन की टोल फ्री है, राउंड द क्लॉक उपलब्ध है ये हेल्पलाइन। उसी तरह से निमहैंस की एक हेल्पलाइन आई है जो नेशनल लेवल पे है उपलब्ध। इभास अस्पताल ने भी अपनी टेली काउंसलिंग और टेली कंसल्टेशन के लिए सर्विसेज शुरू की थी पिछले साल, जो और एक डेडिकेटेड सर्विस है जो फ्रंटलाइन वर्कर्स और हेल्थ केयर के लिए है, समर्थन नाम से। सुसाइड की हेल्पलाइंस तो काफी समय से चली रही हैं, जो सुमैत्री, स्नेही, संजीवनी आदि द्वारा उपलब्ध हैं। और अब चूंकि बोर्ड एग्जाम्स मार्च के महीने में आ जाती हैं, राउंड द कॉर्नर है, तो CBSE की हेल्पलाइन जो कि स्ट्रेस को कम करने के लिए स्टूडेंट्स के लिए, ये भी हेल्पलाइन उपलब्ध है। तो हमारे जो ये सेशन है, इसमें जो टॉपिक है मेक मेंटल वेल बीइंग द नॉर्म एंड रीचिंग आउट टू ए प्रोफेशनल, तो ये दो पार्ट में है। और हमारे जो एमिनेंट को चेयरपर्सन्स हैं, मैडम बरुआ, डॉक्टर प्रवीण और डॉक्टर पांडे, तो इनसे भी हम आपको सुनने को मिलेगा। लेकिन इससे पहले मैं चाहूंगा कि हमारे जो दो प्रेजेंटर्स हैं उनको हम सुने, और हमारे जो यंग पार्टिसिपेंट्स हैं, ये मिस मन्नत को हम पहले सुन लेते हैं। और is she around?
Yeah, she is.
Okay, so she will be talking on psychological distress and coping mechanisms. So
Yeah,
Mannat.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for having us here today. So I am Mannat Lumba, and I'd like to speak to all of you about recent research that I had conducted on gender roles, psychological distress, and coping in young adults. So my research revealed that there was not a significant correlation between gender roles and psychological distress, nor between gender roles and coping. However, there was a significant positive correlation found between psychological distress and coping. This basically meant that when your psychological distress would increase, so would your coping, and vice versa. Now, why I chose this research topic was because, as we all know, gender roles are something that have been enforced on us ever since childhood, based on our biological sex. So many things are already pre-decided for us. The schools that we will go to, the social circles that we will be around, even the responsibilities that we will take up. These labels, we often grow into these labels, and oftentimes we normalize them, and anything different seems like a deviation from the supposed norm. So this is the reason why I wanted to study this. Now, there are, of course, a few researches that have been conducted over the past couple of years that have talked about gender roles. One such research was by Greenglass in 1982, who found that it was more socially acceptable for women to express a wide range of emotions rather than men. And a very similar research was conducted by Jain et al. In 2020, where even admitting to gender inequality or admitting to the division of labor, it would lead to higher depressive symptoms in people. Yet another research conducted in 2001 and 2004 later found that women tended to experience more chronic stressors than men, and they also considered it to be much more threatening. And when it came to coping, there was another research by Nelson and Burke in 2002, according to which since childhood, women had been encouraged and expected to grow into more nurturing roles. And this led them to sort of seek out more social support in terms of coping. But on the other hand, another research done in 2009 found that men, on the other hand, had been trained in action-oriented or problem-focused coping strategies instead. There was also a significant influence of the kind of coping mechanisms that you employed on your psychological distress. And this was a study done by Wang et al. In 2020. So this is basically the reason why the objective of my research became to understand the relationship between these three variables: gender roles, psychological distress, and coping in young adults. I had an alternative hypothesis for my research, which was that there would be a correlation between these three variables: gender roles, psychological distress, and coping in young adults. And I have also tried to explain how these variables were at play through various scales that I employed. So for example, for gender roles, I employed the gender role stereotype scale by Mills et al., which is basically a two-dimensional scale where the participants were supposed to choose between a spectrum ranging from 1, should always be done by a man, to 5, should always be done by a woman. For psychological distress, I used the distress questionnaire number 5 by Batterham et al., which was again a 5-item Likert scale ranging from never to always. For the variable of coping, I employed the brief cope scale by Carver, which is again a very commonly used scale for coping, to understand coping. Now this ranged from I haven't been doing this at all to I have been doing this a lot. Now the sample of my research consisted of 80 participants, out of which 30 were males and 50 were females. Because I used purposive sampling method to identify my sample, there were also a lot of sample participants who I had to exclude from my study because they did not meet my sampling criteria. And of course, throughout my entire research process, complete confidentiality was maintained. Even the consent was taken by each individual, even before the questionnaires were sent to them via a Google form. Now, after collecting all of the data, or after receiving all the data, I used Pearson's correlation to sort of understand the relationship between the three variables. Now for the results. So the mean score for gender roles came out to be 23.3 with a standard deviation of 1.63, which was a little low. The mean score for psychological distress was 15.62 with a standard deviation of 4.66. And the mean score for coping was 65.67 with a standard deviation of 12.126. Now here I have tried to graphically represent the mean and the standard deviation of all the three variables. Now for the correlation for the first hypothesis between gender roles and psychological distress in young adults, the Pearson correlation came out to be minus 0.03, which was not a significant correlation between the two variables. Now, this finding of mine was also supported by a past research done in 2016, where the psychological distress for both genders was found to be equally high. For my second hypothesis, the correlation between gender roles and coping in young adults, the Pearson correlation was found to be 0.12, which was again not significant. But now the reason that there was no significant correlation between gender roles and the other factors, was possibly because most of the participants had given an answer of neutral in the middle, in the gender role scale. So here, I believe further understanding, further analysis of gender differences would maybe help us understand this better. This current finding was also supported by two researchers, one by Giannakos and the other by Parekh et al., according to whom there were no gender role differences among individuals who employed coping mechanisms. Although both of them found emotion-focused coping as well as avoidant-focused coping, there was a preference for both this kind of coping in both the genders. However, for my third hypothesis, there was a significant positive correlation between psychological distress and coping, with a Pearson correlation of 0.33 at a 0.01 significant value. So this finding of mine was supported by a study conducted by DZ et al. In 2014, who had found a positive relationship between high psychological distress and escape avoidance as a coping mechanism. Again, another similar study was done by Morris et al., who found a high association between disengagement as a coping mechanism and psychological distress. And with that, I come to the end of my research presentation.
Thank you, Ms. Manath. Can we take questions if somebody has any burning query? Yeah, Mr. Chandra. Yeah, you can unmute yourself and.
Yeah, you can. Person can unmute. Any participant can unmute themselves and ask the question. M. Chandra. Yeah.
हेलो
जी
मैडम, आपके सैंपल साइज कंपैरेटिवली का 30 का और वुमेन का तो फीमेल का 50 का, तो व्हाट आई वांट टू नो इज
Problem.
I'm sorry, Mr. Chandra, I can't hear you.
अगेन आई एम आस्किंग यू
इको आ रहा है बहुत ज्यादा.
Yeah. No sound is coming. Yeah, Mr. Chandra. I think he's hanged now. So.
Any other query? I think Dr. Desai sir wanted to ask.
Yeah.
Yeah, Manath made a good presentation, but Manath didn't tell us, after saying purposive sample and some people were excluded, what were the criteria?
Okay, so some of the major criteria were that they should be of the same geographical location. So one of the major exclusion happened because of that. A number of people who sent in their answers were not even from India. So that was definitely a criteria for exclusion. Another one was the age of the participants, because I was conducting the research for participants between the ages of 18 to 30. Again, there were a lot of participants who were over the age of 30, closer to 40 even, and I had to exclude them from the research.
I also suppose you had explained to the participants before consent what was the nature and purpose of the study. So while all purposive samples have a problem, this would have been particularly biased or skewed purposive sample. Those who were interested in the topic and the subject would volunteer.
Yes, correct. I of course understand.
So बड़ा skewed sample हो गया ना?
Correct. I understand. This was also because of the COVID situation, we couldn't speak to people.
Right.
So that also played a role.
So again, with all respect and genuine appreciation for what you have tried, the generalizability will be very, very low.
Yes, yes.
Anna?
Am I allowed to speak as the guide of her?
Okay, ma'am. Sure. Go ahead.
So generalizability will be more towards those people who may have knowledge about it or are aware about it and are willing to participate, as compared to, saying that the generalizability is not there completely. To some extent, it was found that nowadays in generation, people are not towards one kind of gender, that they want female to do certain tasks or they want male to do certain tasks. So that is why the gender neutrality is also something that is seen in general, and that is why also. So as we saw that Google form was sent and consent was taken, however it was also forwarded further by them to other people. So all participants were not contacted as such that they would participate, and that actually happens even when we are collecting it manually. When we ask them if they will be willing to participate, and some of them say no also, and some of them may leave the study in between. So that criteria, I think, would always be present, whether we are doing it through Google form or maybe just like manually.
Okay. Mr. Chandra, if you wanted to ask that question, if you can go ahead. Yeah.
Ma'am.
Yourself. Yeah. Sure.
Ma'am, can you hear me now?
Yes, please.
First of all, it is about your sample size. The gender, the sample size is not equal. You have taken 30 men and 50 women, and the sample size of the sample is also, I think, very small to arrive at any conclusion. Okay, acha. Then the sample, if you ask participants from metro, their coping level is somewhat different, and from persons from rural side, the coping level may be different. Okay, and then educated men and illiterate samples, the coping level might be different. Okay, then what I'm asking you is, you said there is no gender difference in case of coping level or expressing the psychological distress. You said so. There is no gender difference you find. Okay. But what we have seen, women are able to express their psychological problems better than men. Men has been evolved as independent, and somewhat he can control everything. He can come over all the difficulties by himself, like that. Okay, so how you have arrived that the gender equality is nowhere in your sample? Your research, you find that there is no difference, gender inequalities in coping with the stress. Okay, so we need to collect samples from different areas, but the sample size should be equal for men and women, and then their age also. See, what I felt in my younger age as a problem, now I don't see it as a problem. My experience taught me that this is not a problem, you can ignore it. Okay, so what my point of view is, the age difference also matters, and your literacy level also matters, your experience also matters. How much you are exposed to the outside world is definitely help you to come out of these stress, psychological problems. Okay, what do you want to say?
Yeah,
Please.
Ms. Mannat, did you get the question?
I think I did.
Okay.
So I'd just like to clarify that the entire sample that we had, all the participants, when it comes to educational level, all of them were graduates. So they were on the same pedestal there. When it comes to geographical locations, they were all restricted to one geographical area, which was Punjab. And that is the area that I studied. And yes, I think what were the other variables that you were asking about?
The sample size was not equal.
Yes. So for my sample was not equal, correct. Yes, I understand that. My criteria was a minimum of 60 participants as my sample. And like Juhi ma'am also mentioned, that I did send the sample out to an equal number of participants for both males and females. And furthermore, they sent it out to their own friends and their own family members. And that is when it got skewed. So from our side, we did try to limit, but after a certain point, we really can't control where the Google Forms go.
Okay. Thank you.
Right. We heard Ms. Mannat. So thank you for your sharing your findings. And in case there are more questions, they can be put in chat and you can respond accordingly. I see Madam Ms. Mary Barua also, that she has joined. And so we can hear her. She is heading the Action for Autism NGO, and she's championed the autism rights, and the advocacy has finally got autism included in the RPWD Act of 2016 as one of the psychosocial disabilities. So, Madam Barua, please.
Thank you, Dr. Kumar. And thank you, Alok ji and Mano Vikas, for inviting me to speak here. It was wonderful to listen to Dr. Desai, Dharyal Saab, Gupta ji, all old friends and colleagues. And especially wonderful to hear my young friend Rakshita Shekhar's passionate presentation. You know, when AFA had started, our aim really was, we are an advocacy organization, or it's mostly hum parents or professionals who advocate karte hain. And our aim was ki ultimately people with autism apne liye advocate kare, like you have blind people and deaf people advocating for themselves. And we are very fortunate that we've entered a phase jahan par aise Rakshita Shekhar ki tarah, Rudraksh, Sudhanshu Grover, there are so many autistic advocates jo abhi speaking out for people with autism. Because jab hum log bolte hain, it's not the same impact, because we are, you know, a parent saying or a professional saying. When people with autism apne bare bolte hain, it has a completely different impact. And Rakshita bahut sare important points kiye, like, you know, there is nothing like high functioning and low functioning. Ye to hum bolte rehte hain, but the impact is never that much. Or also that, you know, jo bad behaviors, constantly log bolte hain, people with autism have bad behaviors. They don't have bad behaviors. The behaviors are only a reaction to what the environment is doing to them. Wo understanding aana bahut zaruri hai. And all of that, our understanding also impacts on the very, very important topic jo aaj hum discuss kar rahe hain about mental health. Because mental health and well-being, of course, you know, we all know it's an important part of everyday life. हम किस तरीके से सोच रहे हैं, feel कर रहे हैं, हम कैसे react करते हैं to anything. All of that has a huge impact on our lives, on our everyday, on a quality of life in our day. And it is not money that determines mental health. Of course, हम यदि अपना big corporates and advertising ये सब देखें, तो then our belief is कि पैसे से mental health fixed हो जाता है. Happiness comes from money, right? But that's not really true. Of course, money is important, but it does not mean that money will give you happiness. And Gupta ji recounted Kalka sessions when he was recounting, he mentioned the importance of kindness, of gratitude, of good health. All of these are really, really important as far as mental health is concerned. And it's particularly important because in our country, in every country, but हमारे देश में अभी भी it's very strong, the whole stigmatization of mental health. You know, people feel embarrassed and ashamed to acknowledge that I'm going through depression or I cannot deal, I need help. लोग आकर बोल नहीं सकते हैं. And it is not just in our country, it's everywhere. If you listen to Meghan Markle recently, she was also talking about this. So it doesn't matter how much money you have or you don't have, people are embarrassed and ashamed to talk about it. और जब हम बोल नहीं सकते, we can't get any help. And as far as the autism community is concerned, which is what I'll really focus on a lot more, with people with autism, वहाँ पर anxiety and stress is a very, very big part of the autistic experience, something that Rakshita touched on also. And this happens because of, you know, what autism is about. Autism means that हमारा जो सामाजिक interaction थोड़ा अलग तरीके का होता है from the non-autistic. So it's like she said, you know, being like the tiger in the desert. So not understanding what the camel is expected to do, like Rakshita said. So a lot of the anxiety and stress comes from that and from not often being able to communicate. हम सोचते हैं if there are people with autism जो बोल सकते हैं, तब तो वो क्या experience कर रहा है, they should be able to say. But that's not correct. Very often they may have very good speech, but they still may not be able to communicate, right? And so the way autism, in the whole autism experience is such that living in a non-autistic world is anxiety and stress inducing. And there are all kinds of things that lead to that. For instance, a lot of them have behaviors because they do not have enough information of where they are going, what is going to happen, what is next. So, and very often we don't give that information because हम as social beings हम environment से deduce कर सकते हैं कहाँ पर आए हैं, कौन है, वो सब देखकर as social beings हम समझ जाते हैं कि क्या होने वाला है, right? और नहीं समझते हैं तो पूछ सकते हैं. A lot of autistic people don't even have speech, and those who do have speech often are not able to ask. So oftentimes not having enough information or having information but having it too early. And I remember one of my earliest experiences of an autistic self-advocate was in 1995, where I was having dinner with a young man with autism who was an autistic advocate, and वो बहुत stressed था. तो हम पूछे, why are you feeling so stressed? He said, my mother is coming to visit me. He was somebody who lived independently, drove a car, was working. And he said, my mother is coming to visit me and I'm very stressed. And I said, why? And he said, क्योंकि हम कमरे को बहुत गंदा करके रखते हैं. When mother comes, she gets very upset with me. So I have to clean up my room. So I said, when is she coming? हम सोचे शायद कल आ रही है. And he said, this was in, I think, May. And he said she will be coming in late June. So he had many weeks. But because to clean his room, because he had the information early, and because people with autism do have challenges with executive functioning, for him to be able to organize his mind and know that हमारे पास बहुत time है, I can still do it. So that also leads to stress and anxiety for them. Sudden changes as a result is something hard for them. जब routine नहीं रहता है, और या जब routine रहता है, मगर routine में without any warning change हो जाता है. स्कूल में टीचर आना था, ये टीचर नहीं आया है. हम कल स्कूल जाएंगे, नहीं, अब लॉकडाउन हो गया है, कल से स्कूल नहीं जाएंगे. So all of these routines, lack of routines, transitions, sudden changes, all of these lead to what we see as violence, bad behaviors, and that is because we don't understand autism. Like Rakshita said, we have to first understand them. And if we do, then ye sab nahi hoga. And the other thing is that also how they are treated. Because when people have autism, they look like anybody else. हम कोई physiologically देख नहीं पाते हैं कि इसका एक disability है. So if Rakshita were to go out and speak in her tone of voice can be curt sometimes, लोग सोचते हैं कितना rude इंसान है. But she's not being rude just because she doesn't look like she have a disability. ये disability हम देख नहीं सकते हैं, तो हम बहुत judge करते हैं. And the other thing is that because हम देख नहीं सकते हैं, ये belief है कि इसको हम कुछ तरीके से ठीक कर सकते हैं, इसका बिहेवियर को चेंज करना है, ये बात हम, जिसका ब्लाइंडनेस है उसके लिए हम नहीं सोचते हैं, जिसका सेरेब्रल पॉलिसी है हम नहीं बोलते हैं कि इसको किसी तरीके से चेंज करना है, उसका हैंड शेकिंग नहीं होना चाहिए, जिसका डाउन सिंड्रोम है हम नहीं सोचते हैं, हम सोचते हैं उनको सपोर्ट कैसे दें। पर जब ऑटिज्म रहता है, द एंटायर फोकस ऑफ क्लिनिकल इंटरवेंशन ऑफन इज forcing them to change, और उसके पीछे जो जजमेंट है और क्रिटिसिज्म है, that is what leads to huge amounts of anxiety in people with autism as a regular thing. Forget about COVID. On a regular basis, people with autism live with huge amounts of anxiety. And research has shown that about 70% of the autistic population have at least one, if not multiple, and I'm quoting a research thing, multiple co-occurring mental health issues. And most of them have anxiety and depression. And it's common knowledge that jab adolescence aata hai, everything kind of blows up. And that is because there is anxiety, depression, also the awareness that I'm different or dunya humko accept nahi karta hai. And most of them remain undiagnosed. Most people with autism, most women with autism are undiagnosed, and many men with autism are also undiagnosed. हम जब बोलते हैं ना कि autism largely males में होता है, that's not correct at all. It happens equally in women. It's just that women are not diagnosed and their mental health aspects are not understood. And naturally, जब ये pandemic हुआ, when the COVID situation happened, the whole thing got seriously aggravated. एक तो था कि routines went for us 6. घर में people visit करते थे, हम लोग को visit करते थे, बाहर जाते थे, market जाते थे. Even for small children, you know, going to the park, going out, going to school. For older people, going to the workplace, whether it is a vocational or, you know, those who are employed, everything shut down suddenly. And then for those who are not in school and stuff like that, or in the vocational, for us, we were dealing with people like that. Sessions बंद हो गया. जो लोग को हम employment में डाले थे, of course, people with autism were the first who got laid off without pay. So those are the things that happened. So that was really, really hard. Many of them, we, of course, you know, as an organization, and I know lots of other organizations, online sessions start kiya tha. So jab online sessions hota hai, so, you know, you're expected to be sitting there. You know, we started online sessions from this, you know, first week of April. But we realized that many of our people, computers तो था ही नहीं घर में, tablets भी घर पे नहीं है. बहुत सारे लोग थे जिसके घर में एक मोबाइल फोन है, जो फादर भी यूज करता है, मदर भी यूज करते हैं, बाकी सिबलिंग्स का भी स्कूल वर्क है, और जो ऑटिस्टिक यंगस्टर है उसको भी यूज करना है. And not only was it the matter of a device, इसके लिए हमें इंटरनेट कनेक्शन चाहिए ना. A huge number of our families, उसके लिए पैसा सबके पास नहीं रहता है, एक इंटरनेट कनेक्शन जो always चलेगा. You know, we keep talking about digital India, but we forget that a vast population of our people are completely out of what we call digital India, right? So many of them could not participate, and especially during the lockdown period from right up to the end of May, there was no way that we could go and help them, क्योंकि कोई घर से भी निकल नहीं सकते थे. So there was no way of helping except for talking to those families once in a while. So those were times that were hugely disruptive for mental health. It was disruptive for even जो join कर पा रहे थे in sessions and stuff like that. It was hard for the teachers also and instructors, क्योंकि you know जब हम एक इंस्टीट्यूशन से कुछ करते हैं, हमारे पास टीचिंग मटेरियल्स कुछ भी चाहिए, हम रिसोर्स रूम से जाकर ले लेते हैं. Where is a teacher going to have those resources at home? और जब वो लॉकडाउन में दुकान में जाकर खरीद भी नहीं सकती थी बिकॉज सब कुछ बंद था. तो टीचर को सोचना पड़ रहा था हम कैसे सिखाएं, किस तरीके से सिखाएं, कैसे अडेप्ट करें घर में जो चीज है, और जो बैक एंड प्लानिंग का जरूरत होता है ना ऑनलाइन में. Online is an amazing thing, but teaching face to face is way easier. Doing it online, the amount of back end planning, इसके बाद क्या बोलेंगे, किस तरीके से बोलेंगे, जैसे कि my student with autism stays engaged to that tiny screen, इतना बड़ा एक मोबाइल का स्क्रीन में engaged रहे, These are not easy things. So to work on all of that was really difficult for the teachers. And the other thing is that for many of our teachers instruction, we have colleagues who are themselves autistic. So they were not only managing their family and, and doing all the work, but they were also dealing with their own anxiety as people with autism. If non-autistic people, hum log ka kitna anxiety tha. So those who had autism had far more anxiety than we did. It was hard for parents also, whether they had autism or not. And some of them were people with autism. Kyunki see, many of the parents, and iske baare hum isliye baat kar rahe hain ki parental anxiety feeds into the child's anxiety, right? So it's not ki a parent anxious hai to bacche ka kuch nahi ho raha hai. There is, you feed into each other's anxiety when you're living in the house, and there is interaction. So as parents, that was anxiety. There were a lot of anxiety too, because unko bacche ke saath baith kar support karne ka zarurat hota tha. Many of these parents had jobs outside the house, jo abhi work for home karna pad raha tha. But I think it was more hard jin parents ka घर के बाहर कोई जॉब नहीं था, जो full time homemakers था. Because for them, जब बच्चे स्कूल में जाते थे या vocational में जाते हैं ना, that is a time when they get a bit of respite. They get a little break. And that respite was gone. And it is still gone. They don't have that anymore. Right? So if I do work from home, I say, अच्छा मेरा भी काम है, सबको कोई बाहर रहो ना दरवाजा बंद कर देंगे. I can do that at home. I can tell my in-laws, abhi mera work from home hai, I have to close the door. But if I'm a homemaker, mera jo wo chota sa respite tha for a few hours, jab hamare bacche were going to, some institution or a school or something, that's gone now. So for parents, it's been really, really hard. They have that respite is gone. They have to support their child. They have to look at the extended family, and sometimes family dynamics bhi mushkil hote hain. So that was really, really been hard for the parents, and wo bhi feed in karte hain to the stress and anxiety of children. And the other anxiety is how long will it last? Pehle to everybody thought ki jab lockdown hua tha, after 4 weeks ye to open up ho jayega. It kept getting extended to 31st May. Then it kept getting extended more and more. There was no one fixed time. And because we work with people with autism, we said, shuru se hi, we said December tak chalega. Because we didn't want to take a chance. We said it will stay close till December, and we thought in case it opens up, we will then prepare them and change it. But that was better than saying ki hum July se open up kar rahe hain, and then say at the end of June ki acha nahi fir band rahega. So that is one of the things. Even now, we have not told our students we are going to open up. We have said we will let you know in July whether we will open up or not, because we have to take preventive measures to make sure there is not, instead of creating anxiety and stress and then trying to deal with that. So we have even now not said, because we can see ki bole hain ki school kholega, but even the 10th classes, people are protesting, then the classes are closing down, exams online hoga, offline hoga. There is no predictability, right? So some of the things that we have tried to suggest that is to our people is that, of course, the things that earlier speakers talked about, eating healthy, doing exercises, very, very important. But for everybody, and in particular for people with autism, extremely important to have a good structure through the day, right? And somebody talked about sleeping well. Sleeping well is very important, and sleeping on time is important. Eating on time is important. In many of our Indian families, कभी रात को 9 बजे खाते हैं, कभी 11 बजे खाते हैं, lunch कभी 1 बजे होता है, कभी 3 बजे होता है. Nothing is more stressful to most people, and in particular to people with autism, is this unpredictability. So having good structure through the day is very, very, very important. And the other thing that we find extremely important, whether at COVID times or not, is to enable people with autism to speak out for themselves, to get them to communicate. हमारे belief है कि ये तो कुछ बोलता नहीं है तो समझता नहीं है. Now we would never say that to somebody who doesn't have autism but doesn't speak. See, somebody who's deaf, हम कभी नहीं बोलेंगे ये तो कुछ समझेगा नहीं because he doesn't speak. But with people with autism, the belief is ये बोलता नहीं है तो कुछ समझता नहीं है, इसका बोलने का है नहीं कुछ. Not being able to speak is not the same as not having anything to say. And that is very, very important to listen to our people with autism. And there are multiple ways जैसे कि हम समझ सकते हैं what their feelings are, what their thoughts are. And of course, this can only happen when there is acceptance. And that is really one of the critical things as far as autism is concerned. Because autism is one condition that acceptance is very limited. You know, everybody says, oh, of course, I accept, I love, and I work for their rights and all of that. But, you know, true acceptance is not there. Even, and I'm talking about parents as well. And I'm a parent as well as being a professional. Acceptance नहीं रहता है. Acceptance जब नहीं रहता है, तब हमारा focus ये नहीं रहता है कि I support the individual in the best way in their life, that I provide a barrier-free environment. Autism के लिए barrier-free environment के बारे कोई नहीं सोचते हैं. Instead, we keep thinking कि इसको fix करना है, इसको ठीक करना है, इसको normal करना है. And as long as that happens, there will be stress and anxiety. Because if I am constantly looked at as, oh, Mary is somebody इसको change करना है, जब तक ये change नहीं करेगी, we can't accept her. You know, ये नहीं change करेगी तो ये कैसे कुछ हो सकता है? If I live with that all the time, I will go into a little cocoon and I won't want to have anything to do with the world. But that is what most people with autism live with. Within schools, within families, right? And that really, that acceptance, वो है सबसे बड़ा चीज. हम जब तक नहीं accept करेंगे that yes, my child, my student has autism and that is okay. And हम उसको सबसे best जो environment हो सकता है for learning, I will give that. If I do that, I will see ये जो behaviors and violence बोलते हैं वो सब रहता नहीं है. They just go, right? But that has to be the most important. That has to be the bottom line. And, you know, the thing is that, you know, our society is not really geared to, sorry, I'm in a session, I'll call you back. Our society is not really geared to help those who are disadvantaged in any way. That's a fact. खाली autism के बारे नहीं. We are not geared to help जो marginalized है, जो disadvantaged है. You know, take a simple matter of the disability certificate. People with autism, I mean, parents, many of them have just given up trying to get a disability certificate. होता नहीं है. और without disability certificate, कुछ नहीं होगा. Go and ask how many, do a survey. How many families with kids with autism have a disability certificate? Because the whole system is geared to drive people autism up their anxiety curve so that families say that, you know, I just can't manage it. So it's not geared for them. Even guardianship, it's difficult. Some places, the welfare officers and people like that are nice. In some places, they're constantly finding problems so that the families come again. और families जब आते हैं बहुत plan करके आना पड़ता है. Over and over and over and over again. So कभी-कभी लोग बोलते हैं छोड़ो यार और नहीं हो सकता है, जो होगा देखेंगे. Right? So, you know, these are the challenges. And then we talk about a digital society. It's not just हम क्या दे रहे हैं. Does digitization really work? Uske liye, have we done everything that is required? Like I said, you know, many of the families that we work with, एक device hai in a family of 6. And us device se all the children have to learn. The father has to do his work, the mother has to do her work. Everything has to happen with that one device. Internet connectivity nahi hai. So, you know, like, I won't take up much time just to say that, you know, we have to really think of mental health in the broader sense, not just in the pandemic sense, but also mental health in everyday life. What are we doing to ensure the mental health of the most marginalized, of the most vulnerable? Because, you know, the indication of a progressive society, what is it? ये है कि हम कितने अच्छे तरीके से अपने most vulnerable को देखते हैं. That is the indication of a progressive society. नॉट हम कितना स्पेस प्रोग्राम किए हैं और कितना स्टेडियम बिल्ड किए हैं और कितना एयरलाइंस है. हाउ वेल we take care of the most vulnerable. That is the indication of a progressive society. Thank you. I'll end there.
Sir, unmute yourself.
दीपक जी अनम्यूट कर लीजिए.
So after this co-chair's talk, can we have the second presentation, the paper presentation by Miss Juhi?
Juhi and Mannat was same presenter. It was the co-presenter.
Acha. So there is only one paper, right?
Sir, no, Juhi was no co-presenter, sir. Juhi was the guide. Mannat was the presenter, researcher, and Madam Juhi is the guide.
Okay, so there was only one presentation by.
One presentation.
Okay, fine. Right.
May I ask may I say something? Do I have any questions? I may have to go off after a bit.
Okay.
Koi questions hai to abhi le le?
Sure, sure.
Sorry for doing this.
So I have unmuted the participant. Kindly ask your question. Thank you, Mary ma'am, for coming.
Mary,
And yeah,
Dr. Desai, sir.
Desai, sir.
Mary,
Yes.
thank you for being here. Thank you for being here.
Wonderful to see you again, as always.
It is such a always a pleasure to listen to you. And you are so grounded.
Yes. Thank you.
Your middle name should be grounded. Mary Grounded Barua.
Great.
I'll look
Very
to
nice,
change
very
it.
No, very
And
nice.
also modesty. Also modesty, Mary.
Thank
Also
you.
modesty.
Madam. Thank you.
So
किसी को कोई सवाल पूछना था मैडम से?
I think
जी सर. जी सर, मैंने पूछना है सर.
जी जी.
ये प्रथम
मेहता जी. हाँ.
जी. हेलो मैम.
हेलो.
वेरी गुड आफ्टरनून.
आफ्टरनून.
जैसे मैम आपने एक अभी एग्जांपल दिया कि उनकी मॉम ने काफी अर्ली बता दिया था उनको कि 1 महीने पहले ही वो आ रहे हैं, तो मेरे हिसाब से मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि उन्होंने ठीक करा कि पहले ही बता दिया, क्योंकि अगर वो जैसे 1 हफ्ते पहले बताते तो उनको ज्यादा दिक्कत होती कॉप अप करने में कि अब मेरे पास कम टाइम है, प्लानिंग कैसे करेंगे, वो अपना वर्क कैसे करेंगे. तो मुझे लगता है कि उन्होंने काफी ठीक करा कि उन्होंने काफी अर्ली बता दिया कि हाँ मैं उस टाइम आऊंगी.
Okay. All right. So, Pratham, that's a very good question. The thing is that, you know, autistic log, everyone is different. जैसे हम आपस में भी different है. In fact, बोला जाता है that within the autism community, diversity is even more than it is outside. And आप ठीक बोल रहे हैं कि पहले से बता देना is good, but everybody is different. So actually this person, इसका executive function में difficulties है, तो planning इतने पहले से करना उसके लिए मुश्किल है. So for somebody like that, and we have people like that we work with as well, जिसको हम information 2 दिन से पहले नहीं देंगे या 1 दिन से पहले नहीं देंगे, और कुछ लोग हैं जिसको हम information before the month दे देंगे. So they are all different. किसी को काफी टाइम पहले से जरूरत है. ये नहीं कि वो 1 दिन में कमरे को ऑर्गेनाइज नहीं कर सकता था, वो कर सकता था, मगर उसको पता है हम 1 दिन में कर सकते हैं. मगर ये जो पहले से इंफॉर्मेशन पता है, to you know, the one thing that really works with people with autism and हमारे साथ भी is to concretize things and visualize it. So with him, what would work is putting it on the calendar, किस दिन मदर आ रहा है, and putting it on the calendar, कब हम कमरे को organize करेंगे. So if I put it there, that concretization would have perhaps helped. Of course, I did not discuss this with him then because I wasn't sitting there to give him counseling. I was just having a social evening. But every individual is different. किसी के लिए पहले से करना होगा, काफी पहले से, किसी के लिए maybe 2 hours before बोलना होगा, right? So it depends on किस चीज के बारे बोल रहे हैं. So every individual is different, and once you get to know them, you understand what would be most helpful for them. But thank you for asking.
Yeah. Mr. Srinivas, you can ask your question. You have raised your hand. And Sanya. Yeah.
Hello, ma'am. Good afternoon.
Hello.
Yes.
Ma'am, there's one cousin of mine. He's an ADHD.
Yeah.
So, ma'am, जैसे recently due to COVID, तो मैम बच्चे इतना जाते ही नहीं थे स्कूल, इतना सोशल इंटरेक्शन नहीं होता था, तो मैम ही वाज एंगेज ऑन हिज फोन, मतलब 24 आवर्स तो नहीं कहूंगी, 20 आवर्स मैम वो फोन में ही जैसे पबजी वगैरह गेम से काफी एंगेज था। तो मैम जैसे अभी रिसेंटली जैसे ही इज इन 10th क्लास, तो उसके मतलब इंक्लूसिव वैसे एजुकेशन है, बट वीकली उसके टेस्ट होते थे, तो उसको पता रहता था कि मेरे टेस्ट है, बट ही यूज्ड टू स्लीप दैट टाइम, मतलब बहुत अवॉइड करता था वो। तो मैम इन दैट केस मैम क्या करना चाहिए हमें?
See, thank you Sanya for asking that question. ये जो आप बोल रहे हैं ना पबजी लेकर 20 hours रहता था, I talked about providing a structure that was critical and making the structure visual. That is the most important. खाली आप यदि बोल दे कि इस टाइम में ये करोगे, उस टाइम में ये करोगे, it won't help. You have to make it visual. So give a visual schedule and introduce the schedule in a very positive way. That would have taken care of this constant being on PUBG and stuff like that. Yeah, we faced that with some of our students, but as soon as we put the schedule in place, took care of that. The other thing is that he's trying to avoid, आपको check करना होगा, why is he trying to avoid his examinations? Is it because he's been on his, PUBG or whatever too long and not been prepared? Is he anxious about his exams? What is the anxiety? कुछ एक एंजाइटी है, ये एग्जामिनेशंस के लिए एंजाइटी क्यों है, वो उससे बात करके समझना बहुत जरूरी है. जस्ट टेलिंग हिम कि ऐसे सोने से कुछ नहीं होगा, उठ जाओ काम करो, नहीं तो फेल करोगे, that will not help. You have to understand him, have to understand why the anxiety is happening, why he's trying to avoid, and then try and find a solution for that.
Okay. Ma'am.
Yeah, Srinivas. Mr. Srinivas.
Srinivas.
Yeah. Mr. Srinivas, you can ask your question. You Okay. I think Mr. Srinivas, are you?
सर उनका मेरे ख्याल से नेटवर्क का कोई प्रॉब्लम है.
हाँ.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sir, namaste, sir.
Namaste.
Sir, in our Telangana state government, in medical board, doctors not giving certificates by the autism children's. Government of India and Ministry of Disabilities Empowerment decided to 21 types of disabilities total, but they are giving only ortho and visual handicapped and severe accident cases and mental retardation certificates only issuing here, but not giving autism certificates, sir. What is problem? Please, sir.
Ma'am, you are the advocates for that.
Well, so, I really don't know what we should do about this, apart from, starting to petition the government and stuff like that. ये हर जगह हो रहा है, Mr. Srinivas. ये खाली आप कहाँ से, आंध्र प्रदेश से है ना?
तेलंगाना स्टेट.
अच्छा, तेलंगाना से, sorry. So ये खाली वहाँ तेलंगाना में नहीं, ये most जगह में autism का नहीं दिया जा रहा है.
मेरी with your permission.
हाँ, बताइए, please sir.
नहीं, देखिए ऐसा है मैडम, मेरी ऐसा है कि ये कल भी सवाल आया था और कल भी मैंने ये कहा था कि जो हेल्थ है, एजुकेशन है, ये पर्टिकुलरली स्टेट गवर्नमेंट का प्रोरोगेटिव होता है. दे हैव टू लुक आफ्टर दिस, ये एंड इट इज बाय कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन. तो सरकार ने एक एक्ट फॉर पीडब्ल्यूडी बना दिया, उसके एक्ट के अनुसार जो है सरकार अपनी सुविधाओं के अनुसार वो बाईलॉज बनाती है. बाईलॉज बनाने के बाद में फिर वो नोटिफाई होते हैं, नोटिफाई करने के बाद में वो आता है। तो एक तो कारण ये है कि हो सकता है तेलंगाना में भी बाय लॉज ना बने हो, क्योंकि दिल्ली में टुक नियरली 2 years टू मेक द बाय लॉज, नो सर्टिफिकेट्स वर इशूड। और अभी भी कुछ चीजें ऐसी हैं जिनके लिए सर्टिफिकेट इशू होने में प्रॉब्लम होते हैं। तो हो सकता है वहां पर उनको टेस्ट एडमिनिस्टर करने के लिए हॉस्पिटल्स में फैसिलिटीज ना हो, तो वो क्रिएट करनी पड़ेंगी। तो ये इन लोगों को एज एक्टिविस्ट, एडवोकेट्स, एडवोकेसी करनी पड़ेगी कि भाई ये सुविधाएं उपलब्ध कराई जाएं, तभी ये सब संभव हो पाए। थैंक यू।
असिस्मेंट करने की भी डॉक्टर्स भी नहीं है साहब इधर।
हाँ, वही मैं बोल रहा हूँ ना आपको कि अभी क्योंकि वो हो सकता है वहां पर ऑटिज्म का टेस्ट एडमिनिस्टर करने के लिए लोग बाग ही ना हो,
सर
तो वो उपलब्ध कराने पड़ेंगे, या वो किसी प्राइवेट एजेंसी को सरकार ये नोटिफाई करे कि भाई ये प्राइवेट एजेंसी किसी की जो रिपोर्ट आएंगी उसको हम स्वीकार कर लेंगे, जैसे दिल्ली गवर्नमेंट ने किया है बहुत सारे केसेस के अंदर, बहुत सारी चीजों के अंदर, कि जो प्राइवेट नोटिफाइड एजेंसीज हैं गवर्नमेंट उनको नोटिफाई करती है, दो एजेंसीज की रिपोर्ट जो है वो वैलिड होती है, एंड द हॉस्पिटल्स इश्यू सर्टिफिकेट्स ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ दोस रिपोर्ट्स।
यस सर।
थैंक यू
सर। In Delhi, Madam Rasmi, Dr. Rasmi Singh, she is the special secretary to our Department of Social Welfare. 2-3 दिन पहले बात हुई थी, and from your AFA there was a representation. So we had also suggested to the Delhi government कि आप इस health department को ये suggest कर सकते हैं कि जो हमारे RCI certified professionals हैं, जैसे autism है या फिर intellectual disabilities है या फिर SPLD है, specific learning disability वाले लोग हैं, तो उनमें कुछ तो सपोर्ट कर ही सकते हैं जो CRR नंबर वाले लोग हैं। तो वो बोली तो है कंसीडर करेंगे, लेट अस सी, वी विल पुट इट टू इन द हेल्थ डिपार्टमेंट। तो इस तरह से श्रीनिवास जी आप भी थोड़ा सा डिपार्टमेंट पे अगर एडवोकेसी करेंगे स्टेट गवर्नमेंट के साथ, तो हो सकता है कि आगे आने वाले समय में जल्दी ये मामला खत्म हो जाए।
Thank you. I think that's something we need to do. Thank you.
Yeah. I also wanted to update the Government of India has written to all the state secretaries, the health secretaries, to expedite this, because apparently Delhi ka pendency is little higher compared to other states. Yes, we are actually 34th in that list of 35. So health secretary has yesterday called all the MSs on the web portal. We had a chat and we were told that we have to complete in next 2 to 3 weeks. So and Rashmi ji was also there. She said she will provide all the help from the NGO sector wherever there were need for any kind of assessments or required. So many of the hospitals were saying that they had issues of professionals not being available.
Yes.
So this pendency and issue of UDID card is a major focus now from social welfare to the health. Now health has actually got that into focus. So hopefully we should see all those applications, and mostly now it will be only online through UDID and not manual disability certificates from the 1st April.
But Doctor, UDID will only happen after you got a disability certificate.
Yes.
If you don't have a disability certificate, then UDID won't happen at all.
Won't happen. That is the second step.
What Alok ji said, I think that's really important. That, see, what happens is very often in most of the hospitals, they would say that we don't have anybody who can do a diagnosis of autism. Right? Aisa hai koi nahi. And even in some of the major government centers as well, nahi hota hai. So if they would include NGOs that have diagnostic centers and accept their diagnostic certificates, that would, make things easier for everybody.
That's true.
And even we had discussed about that the many hospitals, they don't have the data entry person, they don't have the computers. In that meeting also we said, as an NGO, we will also support in your data entry. Even we can support you in the professionals guidance and all these things. So let us see how it works.
Yeah, because I would not name the big hospital, but yesterday I could hear some of them saying they didn't have the DEO for getting this disability certification processed. So, and because most of them were posted for the COVID duty, so that they were told that they have to rope in from other hospital, nearby hospitals, any professionals. For example, we didn't have a pediatrician at IBAS, so we have got from GTB hospital, so that the less than 18 certification is possible for autism, MR, and other condition. So
Thank you.
okay.
Thank you,
now
ma'am. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Mary.
Now I'll request Dr. Praveen Yanavar, who is our senior colleague at IBHAS from the Psychiatric Social Work Department, with his vast experience in psychosocial rehab, and now also managing the Model Halfway Home Saksham at IBHAS. I would like to listen to, we would all like to listen to him. The various measures we have taken at the home for the mental health well-being of the residents as well as the professionals' well-being. That is also important because in the COVID times we have seen actually many of the issues of dealing with pandemic fatigue as well as burnout in the healthcare workers. Dr. Praveen, please.
Yeah. Thank you. Good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. At the outset, I would like to thank Dr. Alok Bhuvan for conducting such a beautiful seminar. Since last 2 days, I am witnessing and finding out. And secondly, I would also like to thank my director, sir, Dr. Desai, sir, for being not only the patron for the director of IBHAS, but he is also patron for Manovikas Kendra and providing all these kind of supports, and also providing me the opportunity for presenting the perspective from the professional's point of view for the very apt topic like make mental well-being the norms, reaching out to professionals. Basically, I'll be talking about how and what way we have taken care of not only our clients but the caregivers as well as the professionals while providing the best possible mental health care. As we know, going by the when we talk about the health, which is not complete without the mental as a mental well-being, as per the definition of WHO, it is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, which is marked not only the mere by absence of any illness or diseases. And when, as we all aware, when we talk about the mental well-being, way back in 48, when WHO was established 7th April 1948, that was the day we celebrate all over the world as a World Health Day. In 48, they had also talked about the mental well-being and how it is important. So it was clearly mentioned in that many different definitions of the mental well-being have been presented. The concept is pertinent to a wide range of disciplines, all of which have a slightly different take on its relating to the underlying beliefs. Mental health, where as per the definitions, they talk about mental well-being as a mental health is not just the absence of the mental disorder. It is defined as a state of well-being in which every individual realizes his or her own potentials, can cope up with the normal stressors of the life, and can work with productively and fruitfully, and it is also able to make the contributions to her or his own community. So this is all what we talk about the mental well-being in general. And as far as you know, while providing the best possible mental health care for our clients, as you know, our IBHAS was established in 1993, and since this has become an autonomous institute, and since Dr. Desai sir has taken over the reign from the previous directors, the utmost preferences and the priorities were given to our clients while providing the best possible mental health care. Not only the inpatient, outpatient, but as the community level also. Because whenever we talk about the any kind of health or mental health, we need to really focus about three parts like preventive, promotive, and curative. Least will be towards the preventive, as many of the professionals they focuses least on the preventive part and the promotive part. Most of the focuses has been given on the curative part. Wherever the patient comes to the hospitals, we try to provide them the best possible treatment from our institute side. But as we know that we also need to focus and work upon the promotive and preventive part also. And as we go ahead with this mental health issues, it is also taking care of their inpatient, outpatient, providing them the most possible and best care. By the same time, as you know, in psychiatric illnesses, the treatment also lasts for longer durations. And by doing that, the caregivers also has to spend a lot of quality time with the clients, also provide the treatment at inpatient and when they get discharged from the hospital. And again, the long-term treatment is also equally important. And while providing the long-term treatment, they have to undergo various difficulties, their management at home, as well as the subsequent follow-up parts also they have to take care. So it is not possible for the persons to keep the mental health intact and then provide the care for the persons suffering from the mental illnesses. So we have been taking care of the caregivers by providing the different kind of programs also. As we know that every year we do celebrate the mental health week, and apart from that, time to time we do have these caregivers programs as well as the stakeholders meetings. In the past also we have taken care and called them for various kind of meetings at IBHAS as well as with at IIC and places. We had also conducted the seminars like Samvad and Mahasamvad for the caregivers, and provided the platform to express themselves and also to seek the professional help if they required. Because as we know that taking care of the persons with mental illness for a prolonged duration can cause a severe burden, also the psychological ill health for the caregivers. So that also we need to take care. And as most of the speakers, they were mentioning about that what as a social care measures we can provide to the patients with persons with disability. As there are just now half an hour back, there were the questions regarding providing the certificates. Like among that, the mental health is also one of the disability people they claim, and even the certificate what we issue for the permanent disability for our clients and for the caregivers, that is also we need to ensure that they get proper disability certificates, and subsequently they can also opt for the pensionary benefits and get those kind of social security measures from the government time to time. And the disability pension also, the government of Delhi here they provide 2,500 as a pension, so that is also kind of substantial amount while taking care of the persons with mental illnesses that we also need to provide while taking care of the patients and the caregivers. And also there is a there was also talk that while providing the care, the family member they have to compensate their working hours, and there was also talk that how that working hours can be taken care by providing some kind of compensations to the caregivers. So that is discussion is also going on that what and how we can benefit to the caregivers, and subsequently and utmost importance also we need to provide this mental well-being is not only a norm for the caregivers but also for the professionals. While taking care relentlessly in the field of mental health can cause a lot of distress to the care provider as well as to the professionals. I'm talking here about the mental health professionals, which include the range of professionals as in the beginning, Dr. Deepak sir has mentioned about psychiatrists to the clinical psychologists, to the psychiatric social workers, to the occupational therapists, to the rehabilitation social workers, to the physiotherapists, and the NGOs, people who are working in this field. And it is also said that the importance is also to look after the well-being of these professionals. There can be the burnout, there can be distress, and even we do get a lot of stories in the papers and the social media that how the persons while taking care of the persons with mental illness or any of the disabilities are subjected for his own ill health and associated psychological problems. Here, like I was mentioning about the compensations and the kind of caregivers what they can get it. Also, the scheme that we have not yet started, but in between, just wanted to highlight that the priority needs to be given to our clients, and there is also we are working on providing some kind of apprenticeship also for the recovered persons with mental illnesses. As Deepak sir was mentioning about that, while taking care of these patients at IBHAS, we have various social and cultural programs time to time we organize, and most of the people that who have visited the IBAS, right from the national festivals to the Republic Day to the Lohri to Diwali to Eid to Christmas, almost all the festivals we do celebrate. And apart from that, we have the picnics also, annual picnics. Since last year, we have not been able to go because of the corona and associated pandemic, but we do have the eating out programs where we take our patients within our vicinity, within our campus, and give them some kind of different platform to roam there, dance there, and interact with each other and provide the best possible care. So these kind of measures also we need to take. And while talking about the stressors of the professionals, as we know that stress is inevitable in any form, particularly in these days, the competition is there, the requirement of the professionals is too much. So there has been a lot of stressors. When we talk about the stressors, it is like a pressure game. It is a pressure rotation exerted on a material object, which is resulted among the people who express themselves boredom and stress and associated kind of symptoms. But we need to understand that why these stressors are there. What can be the reasons for the stressors? There are multiple level people are working in a public sector, government sector, NGO sector, and corporate sector. Even while providing the corporate means, I'm not only talking about the so-called corporate sectors in the IT sector, but even the hospital corporate sector, what we talk about while providing the mental health care. What are the problems? There can be problems with the superiors, like there are even the problems with the co-workers, problems with the organizational structure. There are different kind of demands to met with that what can be done, how the persons can fulfill the objectives of the institutes or that particular hospital. So those stressors are there. Then the work family constraints. While working at the office also, there are family constraints. Somebody will be ill at home, or somebody's child is growing up, so they are having some kind of psychological problem, some career-related problem, or some people they are not keeping well at home. So the managing the things at home as well as by the same time providing the best quality inputs to the organizations is also a very difficult task. But then there are the bureaucratic constraint. Bureaucratic constraint, that means that any organizations, there are different kind of aims, objectives, and the organizational structure. The person has to work under that. So while working on that particular parameter, the person has to fulfill and follow the rules and regulations. But sometimes it's very difficult to work in that constraint. Then there are performance pressures. Not only, like I was discussing, also we have found that the high performance, or there is a high demand for the professionals to perform, whether you are in a government setup or the private setup. Just now, Deepak sir was talking about that we are not able to issue the disability certificates or the autism certificates to our clients, and Delhi also fares not very good in that. So there is a demand that we need to provide the certificates to our clients. So the professionals level also we have this kind of high demand. So we need to work upon that. Not only about that, the 24-hour, the emergency cases will be coming. The sometimes the late night we have to sit and then finalize and submit the report. So those kind of high, even the government sector, there are high kind of performance demands are there. Then there is also poor job prospects in some of the areas. There is job insecurity. Whenever we work in any kind of setup, if you are, there is a famous term like perform or perish in the private setup that has been used. If the person is not able to perform properly, then he is subjected for some kind of scrutiny by the officers and the higher levels. So there is always constant kind of job insecurity amongst these people. So that need to be taken care. And what we can do to look after that stressors, and how one can build about the mental well-being. There are a few kind of cues we can discuss about here. Many corporate as well as the government setups, they have started the employees wellness programs. Globally also it has been very well said that the employees wellness programs are also equally important. There are on-site fitness centers, there is a gym, there are treadmills, there are wellness centers where people, they can go and attend those kind of wellness centers, they can attend the gym. There is also smoking cessation program, those who are having the habits of tobacco or cigarettes or all these things, so they can have the tobacco cessation programs also. There are transit options. These are all wellness programs what we are talking about. The transit option means that the institute, during the corona pandemic, our institute has taken care of their employees by providing the cab to their services, and we used to have the carpool and come to the office and to reach in time. As well as many places, the corporate, they arrange the transportations. Some people, they give the compensation for the transportations, whether you are traveling by your own mode of conveyance or by the public transport. So they provide the compensations for that. And there is a yoga, meditation is also equally important. Even the relaxing for some 10-15 minutes can really benefit the persons to get out of his stress and again come with the vigor and the enthusiasm. There are meditation centers also in many of the places and the hospitals. And in the corporate culture, there is a different kind of massage. Things are also going on. Whenever the person gets stressed, he can go to the massage center, so that the professionals will be there to provide the massage and they will get relaxed. There is a lunch and healthy snacks kind of things are also there. Many people, as we know that in government setup, we have to be bound by the timing, like half an hour will be given for the lunch. But there are many places in the across the globe where they are extended their lunchtime from 30 minutes to 1 hour to up to 1.5 hours, where the healthy snacks and lunch will be provided to them, and they can have their kind of chatting amongst their group, and then have some kind of get together for a brief period, and then they can refresh themselves, they can rejuvenate themselves, and then come back and start the work with the vigor. There are employees assistance programs at various levels, which we talked about, providing the right kind of treatment, physical treatment, even the depression, anxiety, drug de-addictions, and tobacco cessations. These kind of programs, employees assistance programs, one can initiate in their corporate culture or in their setup, and even during the half an hour to 1 hour lunch, there is one concept which is also going on to that nap. Even some people, 10-15 minutes nap, if they can have, they can fresh themselves, or many times at the latter age, people maybe on some or other medications, so they require to relax for some time. So these kind of naps also can help them. And this wellness adventures, including providing some packages to the employees for excursion, and then going as per their destinations, and then they can have a break for 2 or 3 days, and then they can come, where the companies will be providing all the facilities to the employees while accessing these adventurous kind of excursion programs. And on top of that, most importantly, wherever there are certain schemes regarding the promotions, regarding the good prospects, the employers, they need to work upon that and provide the best possible platform and atmosphere to their employees, and work towards their well-being. Since yesterday, everyone has talked about different kinds of well-being, whether it is emotional well-being, physical well-being, social well-being, workplace well-being, societal well-being, spiritual well-being. Every well-being has important role in our life. If holistically we have taken care of all these aspects, then definitely one can hope the better living conditions, not only to our clients, to the caregivers, but for the professionals as well. I don't want to focus about the theoretical part, but different necessary things what we planned as per the schedules and as per the limitations of the institutions that one can do it, and whether it is in government setup, private setup, or the NGO setup, the best possible atmosphere for their employees that we need to create. That is all from my side. If there are any questions, we can discuss. Thank you, Deepak sir, for chairing the session and giving me the opportunity. Thank you, Dr. Alok and Dr. Desai sir as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Praveen. It was wonderful hearing from you. In your list of mental well-being techniques, obviously we need to add a few things like staying away from alcohol and drugs, practicing mindfulness and other breathing exercises. And most importantly, as even Madam Barua had said, that we need to be generous and kind to others, others including persons with mental illness. Okay, and because we don't need to stigmatize. I mean, the virus which is causing COVID doesn't stigmatize, neither should we. And I think, as Madam said, even for disability certification, we require, I mean, both the patients as well as caregivers would require some kind of e-resource so that we have the various mental health resources available in government, private and NGO sectors available as a ready reckoner for them. So let us also take a resolve to bring cheer in the life of the persons with psychosocial disabilities in this new normal scenario. And we all actually who are working in this sector, we are all, we actually are like-minded, and we believe in 3 P's, I think: passion, pragmatism, and partnership. So thank you once again, all my co-chair, the organizers, Manovikas family, and the partner agencies, and all the participants on the platform on this national seminar. Thank you again. Mr. Gupta, please.
Thank you, sir. Sir, डॉक्टर प्रवीण ने तो इतना विस्तृत जानकारी दे दी कि कोई एरिया छोड़ा ही नहीं जहां पर वेलबींग की हम बात ना कर सके, घर में हो, बाहर में हो, काम में हो, कहीं पर भी हो. So sir, thank you very much for the information. And any questions we have?
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Abhi we'll break for lunch and we'll be back on.
Yeah, thank you.
13:45.
Yeah, thank you, Deepak sir, and thank you, Praveen sir, and thank you very much. And thank you, Gupta sir. Thank you, Desai sir, for giving support and energy to do something better in this sector. So thank you all. And I would like to let you know more about the CRE points and all. What are the technical things you have to follow? Yeah. So thank you, okay. Gupta sir is here, and okay, so for the CRE purpose, I would like to tell you here, there is 2 things are very important. One thing is your attendance, and second part is filling the form after the evaluation form after every sessions. 2 चीज बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण है आपके सीआरई के लिए. पहला चीज आपका अटेंडेंस कम से कम 300 मिनट का पर डे होना चाहिए, और फिर दूसरा जो है आपका इवैल्यूएशन फॉर्म भरा हुआ होना चाहिए. तो आपका जो अटेंडेंस सीट है कल के लिए वो हमने ऑलरेडी वेबसाइट पे अपडेट कर दिया है. आप का जो अगर आपको देखना हो अटेंडेंस, तो मैं आपको लिंक दे रहा हूं, उस लिंक पर आप देख सकते हैं अटेंडेंस सीट भी और आप अपना डेटा भी. सेकेंड पार्ट कि जब आपने पेमेंट किया था या जब आपने इस फॉर्म को भरा था, जो सीआरई में पार्टिसिपेट करने के लिए जो भी फॉर्म को भरा था, जूम पर फॉर्म भरा था या कहीं भी भरा था, उसमें हमने आपके डाटा में बहुत सारी ऐसी खामियां थी जिसके कारण हम उस डाटा को आगे प्रोसेस नहीं कर सकते हैं. बहुत लोगों का नाम भी गलत था. तो और आधार कार्ड होना बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट है. आपका सही सीआरई नंबर, जो सीआरआर नंबर जो है वो होना बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. तो इसीलिए हमने अगेन इसी लिंक में, जो लिंक आपको मैंने शेयर किया इसी पेज पर आपको ये मिलेगा। मैं आपको स्क्रीन शेयर करके दिखाना चाहता हूं, अगर आप स्क्रीन में देखें तो अच्छा होगा। ये हमने आपका स्क्रीन शेयर किया है और आप सभी को ये दिख रहा होगा कि ये जो पेज है आपको यहां पर टाइप करना है training.manovikas.family और तब आप एक इस तरह के पेज पे लैंड करेंगे और यहां पर आप देख सकते हैं NSMH के बहुत सारे इंफॉर्मेशन है। सेशन वाइज इवैल्यूएशन का जो फॉर्म है वो यहां पर है। आप जरूर इस नियम को पढ़ें कि क्या क्या नियम है इनके नियम के बारे में। हर सेशन के इवैल्यूएशन फॉर्म्स को करेंगे, खोलेंगे तो आपको क्लिक होगा और जैसे ही आपने क्लिक किया तो ये आपको एक सेशन का इवैल्यूएशन फॉर्म खुल गया। और आपका ध्यान रहना चाहिए कि जब भी आप सेशन खत्म होगा उसी समय हम सेशन इवैल्यूएशन फॉर्म को ऑन करते हैं। फिर उसके बाद आप देखना चाहेंगे यहां पर ही आप इसके नीचे स्क्रॉल करेंगे तब भी आपको दिखेगा अटेंडेंस शीट, या फिर आप यहां पर ऊपर भी देख सकते हैं आपको अटेंडेंस शीट का एक पेज खुलेगा और ये आपका कल का अटेंडेंस है। आप इस फॉर्म में कोई भी फेर बदल या कोई भी एडिट नहीं कर सकते हैं। आप ये देखिए कि आपका नाम है या नहीं है, आपने कितने मिनट तक पार्टिसिपेट किया है वो आपको दिखेगा, आपने कितनी बार पार्टिसिपेट किया है, कब से कब किस समय तक पार्टिसिपेट किया, वो पूरा इंफॉर्मेशन आपको दिखेगा। तो आप ध्यान में रहे कि जब भी हम आपके डाटा को प्रोसेस करेंगे तो आपका अटेंडेंस शीट भी हम मिलाएंगे। और जहां तक सवाल था कि आपका लिस्ट ऑफ जो पार्टिसिपेंट है फॉर एडिट, आपको ये चीज एडिट करना है। बहुत लोगों का एडिट नहीं हो पा रहा था, तो मैं आपको बताना चाहूंगा कि जब भी आप इस फॉर्म को एडिट करना चाहते हैं तो सिर्फ आप अपने ही डाटा को एडिट करें, दूसरे के डाटा को एडिट नहीं करें। दूसरी बात जो बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण है वो है कि आप इसमें खोजिए कि आपका नाम कहां पर है। आप इसको स्क्रॉल करके खोज सकते हैं। इसमें अगर मैं एक डाटा को देखूं तो वहां पर हमें एक बहुत बड़ी खामी दिख रही है। ये किसी का डाटा है, जस्ट आपने मोबाइल नंबर आधार कार्ड के नंबर पे डाल दिया है और SC ST किसी और कॉलम में डाल दिया हुआ है। तो आपसे आग्रह है कि आप देखिए कि जिस भी महान भाव का ये डाटा है वो मैं जस्ट एक हाईलाइट करके आपको दिखाना चाह रहा हूं कहां पर प्रॉब्लम है। आप देखिए कि ये रिंकू का डाटा है, फर्स्ट नेम देन लास्ट नेम इज नॉट गिवन। ओके, आपका ईमेल आईडी ठीक होगा, आप उसको मैच कर लीजिए। आपका एड्रेस यहाँ पर इनकम्प्लीट है, आपका सिटी इनकम्प्लीट है, कंट्री आपका इनकम्प्लीट है, देन आपका फोन नंबर नहीं है, आपका ऑर्गेनाइजेशन नहीं है, देन आपका जॉब टाइटल नहीं है, आपके जो भी आपका पार्टिसिपेंट का कंट्री में आपका पार्टिसिपेंट का नाम है रिंकू ईश्वर जो है आपका इधर होना चाहिए। आपके फादर के नाम में आपका जेंडर भरा हुआ है, जेंडर के नाम में ये थोड़ा सा डाटा आपका हिला हुआ है। तो जब भी आपको ये फॉर्म ये शीट हमने जब शेयर किया है तो आप देख सकते हैं कि क्या छोटी छोटी खामियां हैं जिसके कारण आपका डाटा गलत हो सकता है और आप का डाटा हम प्रोसेस नहीं कर सकते। अगर आपके एंड पे ये डाटा नहीं खुल रहा है तो आपको अपने जीमेल आईडी से लॉगिन करना होगा अपने मोबाइल को। जब आप अपने मोबाइल को जीमेल आईडी से लॉगिन करते हैं तो फिर आपका ये डाटा यू कैन ऑपरेट इट, यू कैन ओपन इट एंड यू कैन एडिट इट वेरी प्रॉपर्ली। ओके, सो प्लीज open this data through your Gmail ID and you can edit anywhere you want. So these are the things you have to follow and this is the very important.
आलोक जी आपकी इजाजत से एक चीज ये कहना चाहूंगा कि जो ये डाटा आपने दिया है यही डाटा आगे RCI में फॉरवर्ड होगा
जी।
बाद में आप ये मत कहिए कि जी हमने अटेंड किया था, हमारा डाटा गया, हमको सर्टिफिकेट नहीं मिला। क्योंकि अगर डाटा आपका ठीक नहीं होगा, ये ऑनलाइन डाटा है, ऑनलाइन जाएंगे वहां ऑनलाइन प्रोसेसिंग होगी, इसकी फिजिकल वेरिफिकेशन नहीं होती है, तो वो ऑनलाइन फीड हो जाता है और सर्टिफिकेट्स जो आपके पार्टिसिपेशन सर्टिफिकेट है, पॉइंट्स के सर्टिफिकेट है, वो वेबसाइट पे अपलोड हो जाते हैं। तो अगर ये डाटा करेक्ट नहीं होगा, सही फॉर्मेट में नहीं होगा, राइट इंफॉर्मेशन नहीं होगी, तो वो डाटा आपका आगे प्रोसेस नहीं होगा और आपको सर्टिफिकेट मिलने में, इस पर्टिकुलर सेमिनार की सर्टिफिकेट मिलने में परेशानी हो जाएगी।
जी तनु,
थैंक यू।
Sir, please, I just wanted to say something.
बोलिए।
आप उन पार्टिसिपेंट को राइट दे रहे हैं इसको चेंज करने का, क्योंकि जब वो एक्सेल शीट में चेंज करेंगे तो किसी और का भी तो डेटा चेंज हो सकता है ना, जिसका एग्जैक्टली भरा हुआ है।
वो मैंने देख लिया है, और हमारे पास अंदर में अगर कोई किसी के डाटा छेड़ता है तो वो पता चल जाता है। ठीक है,
ओके सर, थैंक यू।
आप अपने डाटा से ध्यान रखिए, आपका डाटा सही होना चाहिए। ओके,
एक्सक्यूज मी सर।
यस समा जी, बोलिए।
सर एक्चुअली मैंने 2-3 बार ये शीट खोली पर आगे नहीं बढ़ रही है, ये सिर्फ अल्फाबेट ए ही रह।
जीमेल आईडी से लॉगिन कीजिए आप अपने मोबाइल
सर
में।
जीमेल से ही है।
हाँ, तो आप खुलेगा, सबका खुल रहा है, बहुत सारे लोगों ने एडिट किया है।
थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू सर।
एक्सक्यूज करेंगे कि नहीं खुल रहा तो हमारे पास यही डाटा है, हम आपसे बार बार बात नहीं कर सकते, हम आपके इसी डाटा को प्रोसेस करेंगे, और आपका हो सकता है कहीं भी एरर होगा तो दिक्कत होगा। और आधार कार्ड आप प्लीज जरूर भरिए, और अगर कोई दूसरे का डाटा छेड़ता है या कुछ भी करता है, हमारे पास पूरी तरह से उसका लॉगिन आईडी सब चीज है, हम वी कैन टेक द एक्शन। ओके, सो प्लीज टेक केयर ऑफ योर ओन डाटा।
सर
या
वेलबींग में हम बात कर रहे थे, लंच ठीक टाइम पे करना चाहिए।
यस, सो थैंक यू, एंड वी विल जॉइन अस बाय।
सर हमने ना 2 बंदों ने पार्टिसिपेट किया था, तो हम दोनों ने ना सेम ईमेल आईडी डाली थी। तो सर वो एक का तो
आपने 2 जगह से लॉगिन किया था या एक ही जगह से लॉगिन किया था?
लॉगिन तो हमने अलग अलग किया है, उसमें मेल आईडी सर सेम डाली थी।
कोई बात नहीं,
डिटेल्स में
लोगों को मेल, दोनों एक ही मेल पे जाएगा, कोई दिक्कत नहीं, लेकिन नाम
बट
अलग।
सर अब जो आपने अटेंडेंस शीट भेजी है उसमें एक का नाम आ रहा है और उसकी डिटेल्स
दो लोगों के बदले में एक ही लोग ज्वाइन करेंगे तो कैसे हो सकता है? गुप्ता सर, यू कैन आंसर इट।
नहीं सर, ज्वाइन तो हमने अलग अलग ही किया हुआ है, अलग अलग फोन्स में अपनी अपनी में।
ये ना कम से कम।
हाँ जी सर,
नाम तो बदल लीजिए, ईमेल आईडी सेम है। हमने शुरू में भी लिखा हुआ है कि आप अलग अलग ईमेल आईडी से करिए, आप ऐसा नहीं कर सकते हैं कि एक ही आईडी को सब जगह यूज कर सकते हैं। ठीक है
सर, तो सर फिर अब एक का तो आ रहा है एडिट करने के लिए, उसमें हम ठीक कर देते हैं, अलग ईमेल आईडी डाल देते हैं, तो दूसरे पर्सन का तो नाम ही नहीं आ रहा है अटेंडेंस शीट में।
दूसरे का नाम नहीं, दूसरे ने अगर रजिस्टर नहीं किया तो नहीं आएगा।
रजिस्टर्ड किया है, फीस भी सब
देखिए,
कट गई है, पूरी डिटेल्स भी डाली है।
डाटा मैं डायरेक्ट जो है, ये डाटा मैं दे रहा हूँ आपको, जो हमारे पास मेन डाटा है।
तो सर इसमें अटेंडेंस शीट में जब नाम नहीं है तो सर उसके लिए क्या करें?
हम कुछ नहीं हेल्प कर सकते मैडम, हमारे यहाँ पूरा का पूरा सिस्टम ऑनलाइन है और बहुत ही सिक्योर्ड सिस्टम पे हम लोग काम करते हैं। इसीलिए जब भी आप डाटा प्रोसेस कर रहे हैं, जब भी इंस्ट्रक्शंस आपको मिल रहे हैं, उसको फॉलो कीजिए। आप आपके पास जो फोन नंबर है वो बात कीजिएगा 99।
तो सर अब कोई ऑप्शन नहीं है उनके नाम के लिए?
अगर
वो तो
आपने
एग्जाम्स भी
किया
दे
है,
रहे हैं।
2 पेमेंट क्या है, 1 पेमेंट क्या है?
पेमेंट दो सर, पेमेंट अलग अलग की है।
ठीक है, पेमेंट आईडी से आप फिर से दोबारा से लॉगिन कीजिए, आपके पास ऑलरेडी बहुत बार मिल गया हुआ है जूम पे लॉगिन करने का।
हाँ जी सर, मेल हमारे पास आ गई है।
फिर आप दूसरा लॉगिन कीजिए, कोई दिक्कत
सर हमने एग्जाम्स भी अलग अलग दिए हैं।
मैडम, हम कुछ भी नहीं कर सकते हैं जब तक आप अलग अलग नाम से, अलग अलग ईमेल से जब तक शामिल नहीं होंगे तब तक कुछ
नहीं सर, तो फिर मैं उसका क्या करूं? जिनका नाम नहीं आ रहा है दोबारा रजिस्टर करूं?
हाँ करिए।
ठीक है सर, तो पैसे तो बनाएंगे।
ओके, सो थैंक यू, वी विल ज्वाइन बाय 1:40। थैंक यू सर, 1:45। थैंक यू सर।
है।